Welcome to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Ajalyn Singleton, and with me today is the coach of the Destrehan Wildcats, Coach Stephen Robicheaux. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you.
Coming up on today's show, Coach Robicheaux will talk about this week's game against the Terrebonne Tigers and what are the Wildcats' strengths as they head into the first round of the playoffs. And finally, we'll get Coach to break down the playoff bracket. First off, Coach, congrats on being ranked the #1 seed in Class 5A.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to be the only undefeated team throughout the river parishes?
Well, obviously it's a lot of good people doing a lot of good things, and we're really excited to be undefeated, actually. But, it goes to good assistant coaches that done a tremendous job all year. Our kids have done a tremendous job all year, and just a lot of hard work. Kids have really stayed focused throughout the year, and we're really excited to be where we're at.
Did you imagine your team making this much progress at the beginning of the season?
Well, this was kind of a question mark year. We knew we had a lot of talent coming back on offense, but defensively we had to replace 9 starters, and we knew that was going to be an issue. But the guys that came in, they filled in quite well. They worked extremely hard. Our new defense coordinator, Coach Scott, did a tremendous job with this group, and they've been playing well. So we've given up some points, probably a little more than I would like, but in the long run, we come down and made plays when we had to, and just really excited for the kids.
Although your team has already defeated Terrebonne, do you feel that there is room for improvement in both teams?
There's no doubt. Whatever we do, we try to get better every week, and we used our off week to kind of work on ourselves. That was our motto, us, make sure we're working on us getting better, because it's not always the best teams winning in the playoffs, it's the team that's playing the best. And, we need to make sure that we get better every week. Our kids understand that, our coaches understand that, and that was our focus. So we use these last 2 weeks to kind of work on us and get us better, and then hopefully it'll show on Friday night.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks and how they have improved throughout the season. What is your view right now on Cohen's status in the playoffs?
Well, right now, Cohen played a little bit against Thibodeau, and we're going to use him as he can go. And the doctors and his dad and all, we all talked, and there's nothing he can do that can hurt his knee any further. So he's got a brace on it where he can go, and it's just a matter of what he feels comfortable with. He worked extremely hard, way above schedule than we thought he would be at this point. But he's just a tremendous kid and a tremendous competitor, and there's a reason why he's ready to go now. But we're going to use him, and J.R. Blood, who's done a phenomenal job in Cohen's absence, as kind of use them both this week and kind of get where we need to be. But have total confidence in either one. Cohen's the senior, obviously, and you like to have him ready. But J.R. has done an unbelievable job, so we're real blessed to be able to have that backup when Cohen did go down.
Would you say J.R. Blood has become a leader ever since he has stepped in?
J.R. is a leader. He's a great kid. He's an honest kid. He works extremely hard on and off the field. He's a winner. He works. He makes people around him better. He's been doing that, in all his competitive years and through rec and so forth. But we saw it last year as a freshman quarterback. We had an idea that he was going to be real good, but never would have thought he'd have been this good this early. So I think he's got great years ahead of him. So we're really excited about the quarterback position at Destrehan in the next few years.
If you were able to, would you say that you could compare and contrast the two quarterbacks?
Well, they give you two different things. Obviously, Cohen, number one, is his leadership, his ability to run the football. He throws the ball extremely well. But Cohen gives you that extra grittiness, that toughness. Like I said, he knows the offense inside and out. Runs the ball extremely well. That's what he brings to the table. JR throws the ball really good. He had 72% percentages on passing efficiency when he was in there. So he does a tremendous job. My hat's off to JR. Just as a backup quarterback, he continued to work hard. He prepared every week like he was a starter. And when Cohen went down in the Hahnville game, he never missed a beat. And just a tremendous job. I can't say enough good things about both of them. Just great people, great leaders, and just excited that they play for us.
Let's talk about Destrehan's rushing game and how it has improved throughout the season. There were some main connections between players like Blood to Jefferson or Blood to Young. How can you describe the importance of these connections?
Well, you like to have that continuity in your team, and Cohen had built that with those guys. They're all seniors, but JR came in, and I think with him doing the things that he did, as a backup quarterback, helped him become that guy that can still have that same connection even when Cohen went out. That we didn't skip a beat. So I just think you develop that through practice. You develop that through working extremely hard, getting things done, understand what we're trying to do, and understand what the coach is trying to do. And I think JR understands that, and that's why he's successful. JR throws as good a ball as anybody. I've never seen that as a sophomore quarterback. Tremendous job throwing the fade route. Does a great job reading defenses. He's just so above where we thought he should be right now. It's just really incredible.
Mosley and Emery seem to always rush plays that were able to become touchdowns. What could you say about their potential on running the ball?
We're really excited about those two. Obviously, it starts up front. Our offensive line has done a tremendous job all year and opening holes for those guys. But, I like to say Mosley last year was a track guy running the football. With this year, I think he's become a running back. And tremendous effort. He runs hard for his size. And then once he gets a little crease, not too many people can catch him. So just a guy that really understands the offense this year, understands what he needs to do to be successful, extremely fast, just a guy that works hard. He's not only he's a smaller back, but he's a powerful back because he works extremely hard in the weight room. But done a phenomenal job for us. Just a tremendous athlete, and it shows the amount of carriages and the amount of yards he's gotten so far. I think John Emery is going to be special. He's got the size, the speed. He's got great vision. Just a guy that's going to be a tremendous back. And I like what's going on. He's doing a great job. Understanding that Mosley's a senior and he's getting the majority of the carries, but he had done so much when he had the opportunity to get on the field. He's done so much for us. So I think that, Mosley's going to play in college and he's going to have a great college career. And I think John's going to be special for us in the next couple of years at Destrehan and running the football.
Being that Emery is only a sophomore, how has he improved throughout the year of being on varsity?
I think, that's a great question that, when you're a freshman running back, you are so much bigger and better than the other guys around, and he just kind of ran through people where now he's understanding that, he can't run straight to the sideline. He needs to hit the holes. He has to be patient, let the line blocking open up, and he's done a tremendous job doing that. And I think that's because he's being well coached. Coach Boyne, offense coordinator, has done a tremendous job with him, and they understand the offense and how things are supposed to go. And then after he gets that down, his athleticism takes over, and he's just a tremendous guy. He's 6 foot, probably about 200 pounds, and he's solid muscle, and he's just very fast. And I think he's going to be a really, really special running back for us in the future.
Overall, what strengths have you seen in your team's rushing game this season?
Well, I think it starts up front with the linemen. Those guys have done an unbelievable job opening holes for the guys. The receivers take pride in blocking on the perimeter when the guys get, break the line of scrimmage. That downfield, they're doing a great job blocking for them. So I think it's just those guys are starting to understand the offense, starting to understand where they need to hit the balls. And I think they're going to continue to get better every week. But I just think it's the offensive line the pride of running the football, because we've typically been known to be a passing offense. But I think it's really getting us be a situation where they really enjoy running the football, and it's just so demoralizing when you can run, keep running the ball at somebody and they can't stop you. And I think that, you know, the key that I always talk about is you got to be able to run the ball and you got to be able to stop the run to be successful. And I think we've been able to do that in the last 9 games.
Thanks, Coach. Coming up, we'll get Coach to look ahead into the playoffs. And we'll hear from the Destrehan Volleyball team as they wrap up their season. We'll be right back. Welcome back to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Ajalyn Singleton. The Destrehan Lady Cats volleyball team had their second matchup with the Hahnville Tigers last week. Here's a look back.
Destrehan and Hahnville volleyball teams met on the court for the second time this year, and even though Destrehan lost the game, they all felt good about the way they played.
Good, because it's a really big part of, the game. That's something you can control, and that's a big asset of mine, is to get the serve over and in, so that way we have a chance to play defense and get the ball back. And I feel like overall, yes, everyone has their mistakes, but if you're able to pick up your team and pick up yourself, then you can't lose at the end of the day.
Right, so tonight really wasn't a lose for me, because we've been having this problem where we can't keep up with the game, but we kept up. It was like a mental block that we got over with. And we're a really young team, so but that's no excuse for us. We want to put it out there, we want to try our best.
Destrehan won the first set 25-22, but were unable to take hold of the last 3 sets.
It feels really good because we did it the last time, but then whenever they took the second set, it changes the momentum. But we're not upset of how we played. We took it the first set, came in and said that they weren't just going to sweep us from the beginning, and I feel that we played to the best of our ability against the number 6 team in the state, so I couldn't be any more proud.
We were working really hard on it. We know Hahnville's a smart team, but we want to be smarter. Obviously, we came out there as hard as we could. We practiced a lot more on things that we had to work on, and I think that it showed off. Even if we didn't win, it paid off in what we did.
The Lady Cats are hoping to succeed in their last game against Denham Springs in order to increase their chances in clinching a playoff berth.
Yeah, we did. It was point after point, and one team would get up 4 and the other one would come back and get up 4 again. So I feel like the crowd had a good game to watch, and that's the best. That's volleyball. That's the games you want to see over and over again. So we definitely put on a show tonight.
Well, it's not only me as well, it's a team thing. I think that communication was key, and I like to communicate well with my teammates, and we all did a really good job of that, working together.
Reporting for On the Prowl, I'm Nyla Moore.
Looking through the brackets, are there any teams that may stand out as major concerns?
Well, they're all major concerns here, because it's all about, you win, you keep playing, you lose, you got to pick up your equipment. Nobody wants to pick up the equipment now. But, Terrebonne is a good football team. They moved the ball on us a little bit the first time we played. We were just very fortunate to get a big lead and kind of hang on. But, every time you go out this, looking down the line on outside the bracket, you got the winner of Mandeville and Thibodaux, which Thibodaux gave us a great fight in week 9. And I know Mandeville has a real good program. And then, Hahnville's there, John Ehret's there, just great programs. Parkway's there down the line that do a tremendous job, But, we got to focus in on what we're doing. Right now, we're the only ones we're thinking about is Terrebonne, and hopefully we can get that win and then continue to play and then get ready to start game planning for whoever it is the next week after that.
How has your team worked together to remain solid in order to advance into the playoffs?
Everybody looks at the season to look at the wins and losses, but people don't notice that last January we started working out and working all season and doing things and flipping tires and throwing, doing hurdles and doing crazy stuff that kind of builds the team through hard work and that kind of went through spring training and you work 10 days in the spring working hard, doing what you need to do to be successful, and then there's the summertime when most people are enjoying their summer. Our kids are here 3 hours a day for 4 days a week and just working extremely hard, getting it done so we can compete at a higher level. But we always talk about that more games are won in the off season than they actually won during the football season. So we take a lot of pride in what we do. Strength coaches, Coach Tim Taffy, Coach Greg Boyne, do a tremendous job in the weight room. Our kids have a great off-season program that they really enjoy, and that's what makes you better, and that's what wins games. And I think that's the team building part of it. We actually had the Marines come in and work with our guys for a couple of days that really put them through a lot of fun times, I like to say, but I don't know if they would agree with me. But just say, it's just that team building stuff that you do to make sure that this team is ready to play, and we've been very fortunate that they've been having the success we're having.
Do you feel that there's a good chance of making it to the finals?
I don't know. Obviously, when you're at this point, you think you can make it to the finals, but there's just so many factors. Getting to the state championship and winning the state championship, there's so many factors that are involved. You got to have luck. You got to have playing well. We made the comment that it's not the best teams that win all the time. It's the teams that's playing the best. And a big thing for us is we had that off week, and that really concerned me about how does that off week going to affect this team? I don't know. Last year it didn't bother us a whole lot, but hopefully it doesn't bother us for this week. So it's just so many factors involved. Who you're playing, where you're playing them, what type of team you're playing. When we had a run in 2008, we had a defense that was real good that could stop the run, but we weren't very good pass defense, and we just happened to play a run team every week. So. You just got to be lucky. You got to get a good draw, and you got to be playing well at the right time, and that's the key for this next few weeks.
Everyone in St. Charles Parish is talking about the possible rematch between your team, and Hahnville the day after Thanksgiving. Could you say what are your thoughts on that post-season matchup?
Well, there's so many things with that. Obviously, you take it because that means you're still playing. And hopefully we're both still playing at that time. But, they have a tremendous football team, and they're playing real well. The thought of facing Puka again doesn't excite me a whole lot. But, if that's what it is, then obviously that means that both teams are still playing, and that's what it needs to be. It'd be a great deal for the community. It'll be good for our ADs because they'll make plenty of money that week. But as far as playing a team you already played, it's not really the ideal thing. But it is what it is, and it's the way the brackets fall. And it's just the only good thing is that we'll both still be playing in the quarterfinals, so that would be exciting.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
And that will do it for this edition of On the Prowl. For updates on Press Play Productions, make sure to check out our website at presstoplay.tv. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Press to Play for behind-the-scenes pictures of the Press Play team. I'm your host, Agelyn Singleton. Thanks for watching.